Alright, and we're live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the stream. I know it's been a hot minute, but we're back with more Sengoku Basara 4 Sumeragi since everybody loved this absolutely nuts Musou style game last time around. I figured we'd keep going with it. Especially since I'm still working on that draft of my thesis. It's almost done though. In fact, let me get some stats for you, okay? As of this stream, my thesis contains 113 pages, 34,312 words. And as far as I can tell, when it's all said and done, like when I'm done writing, except for formatting, right? It's probably gonna have about 6 or 7 more pages. Then I'll be done. So, you know, we're almost there. Almost there. I am, so excited. Also excited, of course, for today's stream. Now, we're going to continue. I have, like, unplugged my PlayStation 4 and all that since we last played. But I think the game autosaves after every stage we clear in individual campaigns. So we should be able to jump right back into Toyotomi's, this awesome wrestler character's campaign just before the mine stage, and keep going from where we left off. So let's do this. Pretty sure that's continue. And it is! Great. Awesome. Yeah, we've seen all of that. We're wearing our awesome golden armor, and yeah, got a fair few options here, but I think we do want to go here. This is the largely turret-based stage that sees us face a horde of convicts sentenced to toil in the mines, led by Kurora Kande, the famous strategist. One thing I will tell you about Sengoku Basara, it's one of the only games I can think of with like a massive roster of characters with distinct playstyles, where I actually like playing as a lot of the big and slow characters, because they've all just got fantastic movesets. Now let's see if I can remember what his moveset actually entails. I know we've got the crazy, like, pile driver or power bomb. Let's grab a soldier or an opponent if we can. We can grab him and the chain, right? Yep. And there we go. Hit him with that follow-up. Nice. We're not gonna have to do too much work here. He should retreat after just a little while. Nice! We've seen all this before, so I'm going to stop skipping cutscenes once we get to the minecart, since that's new territory for us, but now, I've been playing just a little bit of the Sengoku Basara collection, also imported from Japan since none of them were localized, but it contains the first and 2 versions of the second game, like a base edition and then an improved and expanded version with a lot of additional characters and campaigns and things like that, but all campaigns, funnily enough, that are distinct from those present in the base version of the second game, which I guess is why they included both, right? That collection's for PS3, which is why I can't show it to you due to the weird nuances of my recording setup. I guess I would need a specific capture card and maybe some additional tech otherwise just for that. But something I remembered through playing those games is the first 2 Sengoku Basara games actually did not use this like outpost base style of map control and gameplay. There weren't like these little outposts to take over that spawned your or the enemy's units or anything like that. It was just a series of static maps with enemy placements kind of predetermined, although some specific enemies with these conch horns could call in waves of other enemies unless you killed them. And you just kind of had to slug your way through all the enemy's defenses. Speaking of which, there he goes. Our biggest consistent goal during these minecart segments is simply going to be keeping an eye out for Kuroda Kanbei and opening fire on him anytime we find him. Like so. We can send him off rolling through the mines, which will also deal a great amount of damage to any enemies in his path. Oh yeah, and we'll also take over some outposts or something like that along the way. I guess that's important too. Sure. Giant wheel made of men with hammers. Go for it, why not? We're gathering treasures by shooting the blue crates, I'm pretty sure, I think. Oh, but now we've got to Indiana Jones it. Don't worry. We got this. I friggin' love this stage. It's got nothing to do with the rest of the series' standard gameplay. But then again, that's something else that kind of distinguishes Sengoku Basara from other games of its ilk. Going back straight to the very first game, there's a lot of stages that kind of diverge from standard gameplay in pretty extraordinary ways. We've already sent the boss man out, so that'll just allow us to take over this arena. And look at all the kills we're racking up. We're getting a great deal of experience and gold and, you know, those other tchotchkes we collect for taking down enemies in a very short amount of time in this stage. If you want to, like, level a character really quickly without paying for it, I suppose. Using in-game currency, of course, as we saw last time around. I guess this would be the best way to do it, like, just spend a lot of time here in the mines. There we go. Wish I knew what that kanji meant. It's plastered all over the place here. Now we've got an outright pinball table as an elevator, so we're going to have to use Kuroda to take out the guards and ultimately the outpost. There we go. As long as we keep hitting him every couple of seconds, he should just keep bouncing around like this for us. This is amazing, isn't it? Again, people here in the West apparently have enough appreciation for samurai warriors to keep having, not just samurai warriors, but dynasty warriors as well, to keep having them localized. But we're not cool with this? I don't get it. I really do not get it. Okay, now that we've finally reached the end of our path, we have a tiny segment of conventional gameplay. And I think we unlocked a new super art some way along the way there. No, that's our standard one. In Sengoku Basara 1 and 2, you actually only had access to 2 special moves at a time that you had to select and, like, equip before you entered into battle. There was just one special technique button, it was the triangle button, and you had to toggle between the 2 moves you had equipped with the one of the left shoulder buttons, which is kind of curious, I think. Okay. What does this do? No, that's the same one, isn't it? Feels like that's the same one. Apparently it's not. Maybe it's a glitch or something? There we go. Yeah, goodness gracious, we've got almost 600 takedowns here. Let's see what we got. Nice. Nope, nope, don't even try that. So, all that's left for us here is a boss fight against Kuroda, who in Sengoku Basara 3, where he first appeared, was actually one of the trickier bosses one could encounter. I mean, tricky is relative in a Musou game, but you know what I mean. Come on. Let's get him. There we go. Toyotomi kind of, as we mentioned in our last stream, totally invalidates an awful lot of, like, challenge that would come from bosses or other more developed enemies, because he could just pick them up and start twirling them around. Totally immobilizes them. And here we go. Hit him with that combo, and he's down. It's one of the quickest conventional stages in the entire game, and a pretty lucrative one. So yeah, again, mines could be your friend if you're trying to develop your characters. Kuroda also had a mine stage in Sengoku Basara 3, but it was more conventional. It was entirely on foot, and I think the gimmick was you had to escort siege engineers to, rock falls in order to blast them out of the way. Hey, Luna, good evening. No worries, no worries. Enjoy your dinner. Glad to see you. So we got a decent haul of treasure and a couple levels out of it. That's nice. Level 30 is pretty dang developed as far as this game is concerned. Okay, what all happens? Anything new? Anything we did not see last time around? Yep, looks like the pirate's here. The pirate and Saika Magoichi, the leader of the Saika mercenaries. Ah, Hisahide Matsunaga, the villain of the Sengoku Jidai, who some of you may remember from Seth streams as the gentleman obsessed with spiders who possessed the Hirogumo tea kettle. He has a very different presentation here. Okay, that's where the plot lines would diverge, so a special mission just for this character, but we're going to ignore it for now and carry on to one of these other stages. So he's still around. I think, because I don't think this is a proper stage, I think this is just a duel, though I could be wrong. I think we might want to go tackle the pirate ship next, which, as you can see, is a very advanced vessel for its time. What? Yeah, usually if the enemy commander is present in, like, the little screenshot, that lets you know that it's a duel. And there's usually nothing unique about duels. There's definitely going to be some unique stuff about this stage, though. It has a gimmick, but one that I regret to say I can't quite remember. There may be a time limit that we have to beat if we want to access a secret area or something like that. That sounds like it might be it. Oh, real quick. Do we have a better weapon? Or a weapon with a higher attack ceiling, anyway? Nope, not that. I'm gonna have to be relearning all the menu options once again, unfortunately. Oh, we do, but they're the oven mitts, and I care too much about our appearance for that. Vanity for the win. Okay, on we go. Yes, this is the pirate stronghold of Chosakabe Morochika, who had another ship, a more conventional ship for a stage in Sengoku Basara 2, I want to say. And I really want to say he fought out of really cool-looking trap-laden pirate coves in the first and third games. Let's have a look at his army. Are they? Yep, they are unique-looking. They've got these short-sleeved tunics, and generally look just a little bit less professional than a lot of the other militaries. Lots of advanced tech, though. I absolutely love the Psycha faction, but I don't think they have their own stage in this game, which is a real shame. They did in Sengoku Basara 3, where they were introduced. Yeah. So we need to find a way in here, I think? Or we can find a way in there. I absolutely love the music here. It's like nautical techno. Can we jump up there? I think we can. Or we can with certain characters, at least. See, some characters have a double jump, and so they could definitely reach the top of those platforms. I don't know that we can, though. Or even that we're supposed to. I totally forget. There we go. That AoE is going to be pretty useful for cleaning up after ourselves in these more crowded bases. Oh, it's the lifts. We want to activate the lifts. But first things first, we've got to navigate some traps. Rather a lot of traps. Again, it's the enemy commander's gimmick throughout the entire franchise. He loves his unorthodox technology and he loves his traps. Always makes for a really interesting stage. I think claiming his bases will disable certain traps. Yeah. As you can see here, these shifting walls have been frozen thanks to our conquest of this area. But as you can see, both of the command posts we've taken are going to be constantly swarmed by officers attempting to reclaim them. So just 1 second. Let's go re-secure that first one. He's gonna have a hell of a time sending soldiers anywhere past us, since, well, unlike a lot of other stages, this one's terribly linear. And so to actually, like, send troops from one command post to the other, they'd have to send them right by us. And ain't no officer getting by me. Alright, our commander should be able to handle things here. Now, I think maybe I was correct about that time limit, and maybe we could only get through that sealed door at the very top of the map very, very early on. But, of course, I could also be wrong. That happens notoriously often with my memory. What I do know is there looks like some kind of small secret up here. Yes? Yeah. Okay. Ooh, a lot of treasure. Sure, we will gladly take that. Oh, that's nice. Very nice for a low-effort reward. Hold on, I also see something off to the side over here, though. Maybe we missed another secret. I know I'm terribly anal when it comes to exploring maps like this, but it just comes with the territory, you know? Oh no, is that where we began? Yes. So on we go. I'm pretty sure the lock on the map is the leader of the Psycha faction, who we're gonna have to fight before the big boss. Even though I'm also pretty sure she's more dangerous than he is, by a fair clip. Well, this is stressful, but as long as we stay right in the center, it looks like these spike walls are totally harmless. And of course, the area surrounding the command post is clear, so really, all most of these traps do is give you a little incentive to clear the command posts, as if you wouldn't already. Hey, Seth, no worries, good evening. I hope you and your family are doing well. Send them my best, and thank you for the well wishes. I'm doing alright. I got, like I said, about 6-7 pages left, which is nothing at this point, and I should be done. Totally done. And then it's just off for revision. Now that we got a cannon, we can have a little bit of fun. If there are any good targets around here, that is. Yeah, I guess they'll have to do. This isn't a chain gun like we were able to access in the Mikawa stage. But it's a cannon that overheats way too quickly. Again, this is a very straightforward stage for the most part, but it's also a lot of fun. And yep, here she is. Saika Magoichi, I love this character. It's like some Dante-level gunplay. She has one of the best character themes in the series, which you're hearing right now. This is another character some of you may remember from Seth's Neo playthrough. In that game, Saika Magoichi was the crow-themed leader of a far more seriously presented Saika faction, who fought with a cane sword and had the Yatagarasu, the three-eyed crow, as his guardian spirit. He was male in that game because... oh, goodness gracious. I could be wrong about this, but I want to say historically it's believed that the name Saika Magoichi was hereditary, and the leader of the Saika faction at any one time used the name. Kind of like Hattori Hanzo. And so this interpretation has Saika as female, which I think is pretty cool, actually. Alright, now that they're all out of the way, it's time to charge the command deck, and this ridiculous contraption that our adversary has constructed. This is also true. Did you finish it? The thesis? No. Like I said, 6-7 pages left to go. So we're not fighting the giant war mech at the rear of the command deck. We're fighting a totally different one. This is a mini-boss that first appeared in Sengoku Basara 3. And as long as we strike its glowing little propeller in the rear, we can disable it, like, more or less permanently. You'll see it's actually designed in the form of a pirate ship on legs, which is adorable. Let's use our bullet time here. It's not being destroyed, but now the boss is going to join the fight himself, and he's nowhere near as much of a threat. At least I thought he was going to join the fight himself, or... Oh, this is cool. I don't remember this at all. But I'm on board. Oof. Okay, so we want to strike this one in the mouth. Makes sense. So it's clearly like launching attacks. I can hear it doing so, and they're clearly telegraphed with those little glowing white fields. But doesn't seem like there's a whole lot this thing can do as long as we stay right up in its grill, which it, of course, immediately employed countermeasures against. Sorry about that, buddy. You're just coming on a little walk with me. There we go. No, 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 no. Alright, fine. Now we can use our new R2 attack. It's a pretty damn good one, too. Let's try that one more time. Yeah, that's some damage. So since it's not their stage, we have not actually seen any Psychofaction troops here. Oh, good God, those things are Gatling guns. Well, it's a good job we were pressed right up against the boss's chin then, huh? Almost there. Oh, do not... Oh no, it's about to detonate, isn't it? Yep. Oh god, we need health. Hey, Eclipse, how's it going, man? Good evening, thanks for joining us. Okay, I was not ready for it to explode, frankly. So this is the only time I've been in any risk of death throughout the entire playthrough. Health? Yes, just a little bit of health. That's all I need. Well, now we can bury him. There we go. Yep, yep. And just dance around with him. This will allow us to clear out a couple of the pirates. And... yeah! Oh, I love that finisher. Restore a little bit more health, and now this just isn't even fair on the poor guy. Ooh, are we gonna get to finish it with a lock? Look at it! Our character is participating in this blade lock by just slapping the opponent's weapon around. God, he's so cool. And again, I feel the need to emphasize, not particularly excessive in terms of coolness as far as this is going. Eclipse says, how are you today, Brady? I'm doing alright, thank you. I'm doing A-okay. Thesis is almost done. It should be done at the very latest by tomorrow, like just and off for revision. So I'm stoked to have the lion's share of it out of the way. How are you doing? And also, I assume y'all can hear me, right? I've had to mess about with some of my tech. I assume, something I should have asked earlier, you can hear me, yes? We are just skipping through all of the dialogue because I can understand practically none of it. But it says, I mean, we are kind of answering. Right. Just making sure. I guess I should say you can hear me clearly. Right. Get ready! Let's not. That's probably gonna be a duel. And I do not care about those. Oh! Oh, that's actually pretty different then. We might want to do that when they're gonna be fighting Oda. And we can now fight the Shogun if we wish. Clip says we can hear you. Great. Thank you. And I'm exhausted. Oh yeah? Busy day? Busy day at work? So we can either fight the Shogun, or do whatever the hell this is. Like a three-way fight between Oba Nobunaga, the Devil King, who is represented as, like, an actual demon returned from hell in this game. And, Date Masamune and Sanada Yukimura? I've never done this before, so even if it's just a three-way final boss fight, I'm down for it. Let's give this a go. I am... No, they are part of two different armies, so there might be something more to this stage. Maybe. I don't know. I'm intrigued. Oh, yep, three-way boss fight. Okay. We can do that. Let's go for Sanada first. No particular reason, save he's probably my least favorite of these three characters. And frankly, I would like to give Masamune Date, or Date Masamune rather, a chance to soften up Oda. This says tutoring sessions, yeah. Right on. How many did you have? Just booked out all day? Again, as so many of us have said, man, it's the perfect profession for you. Not only are you very kind and knowledgeable, but you've definitely got the patience for it. Okay, that's one down. Well, I said Oda would be tougher, but if we can still just pluck him up and toss him around like this, then maybe not. Oh, ain't y'all supposed to be on different teams? Fight each other. So I can do this. Oh yeah, Date's dead. He's rinsed. Okay. Oda is the only one left, and yeah, this is gonna end exactly as you would think it would. Oh no, he's activated one of his ults. And just as quickly dispensed with it? See, something interesting about Oda is his moveset, though not his general playstyle, changed radically between Sengoku Basara 2 and 3. Because in the storylines of the first two games, he was just a particularly villainous, regular human with unsettling powers. Just a particularly nasty take on the historical figure, right? But since the third and fourth games take place at different points in the timeline, 3 takes place after 2. We're not entirely sure when 4's, like, canon story is supposed to take place, because it incorporates events from before the first game and after the fourth. If we're looking at the historical timeline that the game's universe is actually based on, Oda is dead as of 3, and is returned, or, like, fights his way out of hell, and so has all of these crazy, eerie, supernatural powers, in 3 and 4, which honestly makes him a much better character, even though he was one of the best characters, I think. If we're just talking stats, the best in the first game. But it says, 2 today. Also had to plan the lessons, though, yep, and went shopping. Right on. And speaking of patience, that Ornstein and Small fight tomorrow is gonna suck. Oh, but you'll have an audience for it, man. I think you could do it, too, because you got pretty close. You got the first phase down pat by the end of the evening. It's just gonna be about finding either some way to increase our damage output in Phase 2, or learning that fight like the back of your hand. I would argue Phase 1 is the hardest part of the entire fight, no matter what, and you've already got that one down. So now, to bring this campaign to a close, we'll be fighting the Shogun again, but at a different location than we did for the last campaign. And this has the roulette wheel active, sure, we'll keep it, why not? Most of these stages, like the Roulette Castle stage, involve fighting a lot of various officers who are also challenging the Shogun, while making our way to him. The Shogun himself factors into more or less nobody's personal stories, as far as I'm aware, because, again, historically, he's dead before the Sengoku Jidai begins, I think. I have no idea why that other character was with him. Her name is Kyogetsu Maria, and she is related to a totally different group of playable characters. Azai Nagamasa and Lady Oichi. The latter of whom is probably my favorite character in terms of overall aesthetics in the entire series. Eclipse says, I might potentially change tactics and just go to the catacombs bonfireless and bone back out. That could work too. That could work too. And if we do it right, you get a ton of souls in the process. Oh, it's Deer Boy. Without the deer. Oh, well, we could definitely take him without his woodland friends. Oh no, we're being transformed into the bomb thrower. Okay, now that could be worse. Oh, and look, I believe the color palette of our character skin when we're transformed into a bomb-tossing soldier will correlate with that of the army we're leading at the time. That's pretty cool, honestly. Problem is, we're meant to be fighting other, like, playable characters, so some of the toughest characters in the game, and, this is not doing it. Okay, is he going to call in the deer now? Now that we've dealt sufficient damage? Yep, Oya-san, that's the name of the deer. Oh no, sorry, he's going to run away to seek the deer's protection. Of course, sure. No, 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 don't transform me, please. Oh god. Okay, Naoe Kanetsugu. Fair enough. Most of his attacks are one-hit kills, so that's good. Although, again, we will instantly lose this transformation if we're hit a single time. That's kind of the catch. He is a joke character in the employ of Uesugi Kenshin in the third game. who is known as, like, the Invincible, but always goes down in a single hit. Believe it or not, this guy has his own stage. We just haven't seen it yet. Yep, there we go. That's how most runs as Naue end. Let's get rid of these whirlwind troopers as quick as we can. God, did you see us just uppercut the deer out of the way? This is the Bambi prequel Disney did not want you to see. Damn. Cliff says tons of souls, access to Vamos, who's another NPC soul level 1 players usually kill for his weapon. Really? Really love those blacksmith hammers, huh? They do both drop hammers, right? I have no idea what that green crate just did, but we smashed it. Hell yeah. The chaos is going to be the principal appeal of this playthrough, I think. Oh yeah, since there were no conventional command posts in the Shogun's castle, this is the first time we get to see the banner associated with his faction. Purple and gold. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, that's it. There are now more negative outcomes on the roulette wheel. Good. Exactly what we needed, right? Yay. Oh, geez. Let's hope we can find another green crate and potentially reverse that. So the green crates affect the odds on the roulette wheel. Right. We found, I think they're either, like, monks or criminals or something like that can randomly be hiding in any stage and manage to off one in exchange for, some unique, not unique, sorry, but particularly useful crafting material, I think? And Eclipse says, the Bambi live-action remake. Oh, yeah. And while the weapons you can actually use in a Soul Level 1 run are limited, there's only one sword you can use, which is the Jagged Ghost Blade. Also might farm that. Ooh, that'd be good! That'd be really good. Jagged Ghost Blade is, like, really well regarded in the meta, right? So there's Azai Nagamasa. He is the character modeled after, like, a Super Sentai style tokusatsu hero. So think like medieval Japanese Power Ranger. That's him. Oh, and Oichi's here too! Hell yeah! You're gonna get to see Oichi at last, which is absolutely awesome. So historical background for her, just like some very general pop culture-ish stuff. She was the sister of Oda Nobunaga, so like the creepy Demon King from the last stage, and was married to Azai Nagamasa until he died in a siege, and was married off, I think, again, to a totally different feudal lord. Her life was particularly kind of difficult and tragic, and that's been interpreted in a really interesting way for her character here. Hey, Dre, good evening. How's it going? Glad to see you, man. He says, honestly, I'm playing the remake of Destroy All Humans for the same reason. Glorious chaos. Oh, man, Oh, now we are the pirate ship mech. Yes, this is my favorite transformation. Also a great way to get coins. I've been looking forward to having the time for the Destroy All Humans remake. It looks really good, it sounds really good. I'm just waiting for it to go on sale because I do own copies of the original on both PS2 and PS4, and it sounds like for the most part it's a one-to-one remake. Oh, here she is! Here she is! Oichi herself doesn't do much of anything. She's, like, completely lethargic and disassociating most of the time. Like, she's only faintly aware of what's happening around her. Instead, all of these demon claws, like, puppet her around and fight for her. Her husband's a little bit more bombastic. Eclipse says Chaos is great, and I think so, yeah, about the Jagged Ghost Blade. Yeah, people love it, man. I've only ever gotten it once, I believe. Oh, I love this little vacuum attack we can perform. Okay. Oichi's a much bigger threat than Azai, so... Oh, and look, see, even instead of, like, combat rolling or performing other types of dodges, the hands, when you dodge as Oichi, just drag her out of the way of enemies' attacks. It's great! Her stage in, Sengoku Basara 3 is honestly one of my favorites in that game, which has a great selection of playable stages. I believe it's called something like either Kanagaski or maybe Tanegashima. No, I think it's Kanagaski or Osaka, potentially. Osaka Nightmare. Where you are, like, being pursued by Oichi through the wee hours of the morning. And she less commands an army and more has a horde of her brother's soldiers, remnants of his army, who are absolutely terrified of her just fleeing from her, running into you. It's great. Dre says the Destroy All Humans 2 remake was just announced as well, so I need to finish it, especially since I've had the game since it came out. Do we have any information about how exactly how comprehensive the remake is going to be? Is it going to introduce a lot of new content, which is kind of what I'm hoping for, or is it going to be more like the first game's remake, where it's largely just a one-to-one translation? And Eclipse says, I've been really lucky with drops I can't use. I can't wait till I'm farming the Ghost Blade for 10 hours. Oof. Do you, because I totally forget when you can acquire certain items. Would we have access to anything other than coins that might increase item discovery at that point in your playthrough, then? Oh, no, you don't, Azai. And I totally agree, Dre. Oichi is fantastic. She still had the darkness theme and could call on the hands for special moves in the second game, where she made her debut, in the expanded version of the second game. But she was relegated to primarily fighting with a Naginata, which is nowhere near as interesting. Starting in Sengoku Basara 3, they gave her the hands, and I think they are fantastic. Now I think the only one of our field commanders left will be Maria, who fights with ribbons and mirrors, I think? Her aesthetic themes are beauty, vanity, and light. Well, we are getting tons of roulette coins, which I only ever use to buy extra costumes for my characters, so I'm perfectly happy with this. Oop, we spawned more coin carriers. Let's just shake those coins out of these poor guys' packs. Cliff says, coins are DS2 and beyond, not DS1. Oh, really? But you do have access to the Gold Serpent Ring. Great, great. And popping humanity up to 10 also gives additional item discovery? Really? That's so cool. And Dre says there's an alpha-beta release that people have been trying. I've seen a few differences, but I'm not sure how much it'll be. Oh, an alpha trial. I gotcha. I gotcha. Well, it's nice that they're giving people access. I'm a huge advocate of try before you buy. Unless, like me, you can also take delight out of... Oh, no. Oh, I guess all that result is doing is dropping bombs all around us? That could be worse. Unless, like me, you are a Twitch streamer who can get just as much entertainment out of a terrible game as a good one. Sometimes even more. Looking at you, Immortal Unchained. Eclipse says, also, I'm feeling old. I turned 27 in 2 days, and I got my first life insurance letter through the mail. Oh. Well, I mean, I turned 24 this year, and I feel ancient, so I'm right there with you, man. But remember, we are young. We are young. We've got a lot of living ahead of us, and we're still just starting out, really. Yep, so there's Maria being cradled by all of her ribbons. She also has a great character theme. Oh, I guess it would also help you make sense of the character theme to know that her stage, for, I guess just the sake of aesthetic variation, has an Arabic theme, like there's Arabian art and architecture all over the place. See, look at that. Naoi Kanetsugu killed her in one hit. Ooh, all those coins. Baby, yes. I know I've said it already like 25 times throughout the playthrough. I'm gonna keep saying it, though. The West... Oh, okay, Eclipse. No problem, man. The West is perfectly happy with Samurai and Dynasty Warriors, but we didn't want this, apparently. Search me. Dre says, it looks like one of the weapons is being implemented in a different way, and I've looked through the part of the original game they've released for the alpha, and seen several additions to the cutscenes and differences in, like, line delivery I really like. Okay, good stuff. Please tell me the weapon they're changing isn't the dislocator, because that was perfect in its original implementation. Like, not very useful for combat applications, but so much fun. Like, I just need my dislocator. There was a weapon in one of the other games, one of the less well-received games, Path of the Furon, I think, that operated similarly, except it was like this bouncy ball. And Dre says the purple gun you got in the beginning. Oh, damn it, that is the dislocator. I was afraid of that. It was the most mechanically unique of them all. But there was like this prismatic, bouncy ball, I suppose, that you could launch out of a gun in Path of the Furon, I think, and it would send enemies or vehicles it came into contact with just bounding off through the world, like smashing them into the ground over and over again. Great deal of fun. Anyhow, all that's left now is the Shogun, and he won't be any more difficult than he was for our first character. Actually, he'll be significantly easier, if I had to guess, due to our Kung Fu grip. How on earth did he deal contact damage to us there? Love that if we perform our directional triangle or our directional special while we've got an enemy, we just drag them along the ground with us. He should buff before too long, once we get him down to around half health. There we go. This is so much fun. Totally anticlimactic, yes, but just delightful in its presentation. Wait for it. Slam. Yep. Slam. And finish him with this combo. Dre says, I can hear you furiously clicking your controller. Yes. It is something I doubtless could do something about as far as audio solutions, but I never will, because I love for the audience to be able to hear how, A, how tense some situations can be, and B, how incredibly nervous a person I am. This isn't just like Dark Souls, this is me playing every game, just click, 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 click. Okay, we've done it though, that's campaign number 2 down. Only about 100 left to go. So congratulations, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, you have unified Japan. So, Hideyoshi canonically is killed at the start of the 3rd game, just as he was killed in real life, I believe. Instead, this guy, the little guy in the silver armor, Ishida Mitsunari, takes command of his forces in, like, the final great war for Japan of the Sengoku Jidai. Ishida, you may also remember from Seth's Neo streams as the daimyo with the horned helmet who turned into the wind-themed yokai, and we fought near the end of the game inside of the mountain caverns. Very different look here, of course. A lot of characters' appearances in Neo, I think, are fairly believable in regards of what they would actually have looked like, I think. Alright, so we made it. Now, I already know who we're playing as next. We're going to play as one of the characters I don't really care for, just to get them out of the way. As you do, right? And it's going to be Sanada Yukimura. Just a character I'm not overly fond of. He is as close to your stereotypical shonen anime protagonist as we're going to get in this series. And he is... oh gosh, where is he? Right here. He is also one of several characters who does not have an army all his own. Instead, he represents his liege lord, Takeda Shingen, who is a far more interesting character to play as. He's okay, though. He fights with twin spears and is pretty damn fast, but just doesn't have a very interesting character gimmick, nor the best moveset. He's fine. He's just fine. At least I'm pretty sure he doesn't have his own army. No, yeah, he's there at Takeda headquarters. And of course, Takeda Shingen... Oh wait, no, he doesn't act as Sanada Yukimura's partner. Instead, this shinobi does. That is Sarutobi Sasuke, who, just like his partner here, is just okay. There's several ninja characters in this series. I want to say all of whom are represented in Sengoku Basara 4. And he's easily the least interesting. The Takeda army just does not have the most appealing characters, I'm sorry. Okay. So, the Takeda are always pitted, as they were historically, against the Uesugi. So that'd be Uesugi Kenshin and his retainers in this game. He is far and away a better character. And according to, like, playtime and stats, when I was, like, checking out my, my Sengoku Basara 2 profiles earlier today, Kenshin was one of my favorite characters in that game. So we've got a couple duels, or if we want to play an actual stage, we can go fight the Deer Army, which is definitely what we're going to do. Oh! So he has a couple special costumes. One of which gives him Takeda Shingen's helmet. That's actually pretty neat. And, like, this athletic costume? Like a boxer's costume? And, of course, Sarutobi Sasuke has his own costumes and the like. Okay. Tell you what, I'll go ahead and shell out for them both. I don't spend these coins on anything else. Even though I probably should. Now, first things first, weapons. Do we have anything better? No, we do not. We will before long, though. So what we're gonna do... Let's see. Oh my god, that's glorious. I love the, like, spiky little afro. And that's also not bad, honestly. I think we're gonna keep this. Yes. And, of course, we are going to level this sucker up as much as we can. Or, no, not as much as we can, rather. To about 14. There we go, that'll do. And... what else? What else? Yes, of course. That. We probably do want to increase... Yeah, he's fine. Increase the damage of our weapon. Unless we can go ahead and buy a better one. Because we don't use the standard gold for much of anything else. 90,000. Yikes. I mean... It seems like it'd be worth it, though. Yeah. Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's get ourselves a much better set of spears. And just dump points into attack like you wouldn't believe. This is going to make him technically the most powerful character we've played so far, just by nature of the numbers. Which, hey, you know, whatever it takes to make playing as Sanada Yukimura an okay experience for me. Now, some of his moves are pretty damn good, if my time with him in the earlier games is any indication. Let's have a look-see. So we're not going to have access to any of our R2 moves. So yeah, he's pretty fast. He can cut it up, and he can charge up attacks, which are actually very powerful. Hello, dear lord. Where's Hoya-san? Okay, so he's totally harmless on his own. Which is good, because I need to learn what I can do. Okay, we can knock enemies up into the air, like so. Oh, shit, that's kind of beautiful, actually. We have a dash attack. Okay, that's all we needed. No. Oya-san and the Elite Guard are here. Okay, so we need to hunt down the Elite Guard, right. Okay, so we've got this flurry of stabs, right? And what's our last special? Ooh! Okay, so I will say, I don't think, or it's been so long since I've played as him in Sengoku Basara 4, I have no real memory of it. I don't like the style of this character, I really don't, but God's sake, this is a much better playstyle than he had in the earlier games. They've kept a lot of his stronger special moves and made him just a bit more maneuverable. Very nice. And, you know, the massive attack bonus to our spear probably don't hurt. I love the design of the enemy army, by the way. It's the first time we've seen the dear guy's army. Purple, gold, silver, like, based out of a desert. This is really cool, actually. Oh, funny enough, that commander that just spawned that we want to track down and strike to get coins, he was the antagonist in a Sengoku Basara 3 stage that looked almost identical to this one, in fact, and had a very similar premise. You would have to chase him through the desert and across his different bases and try to wear him down over time. And just like him in his original home stage, a lot of enemies here are buried in sand, or have burrowed into it. Dre says, I don't like how he flails the left spear as he runs. Yeah, they wanted a very high-energy character, and that leads to a lot of his attacks, movements, and virtually all of his dialogue being really, overmuch, and not in a way that's cool. Again, he's very shonen. Which is not an aesthetic approach I really like all that much. And as you can see, we are claiming all of these territories for the Takeda army. The red and black. Which were one of the two armies we fought in our very first mission in this playthrough. Okay, we leveled up one of our special moves, that's great. I love that Oya-san is commenting more on what's happening during the battle than the actual enemy commander is. Oh, there's one of the elite guards surfing around as they do. Actually, yeah, now that I'm getting some hands-on time with him, this version of the character is pretty legit. Like, nothing special again, but as far as, like, just a generalist character, pretty solid moveset. Sorry, what? That's not just a bunch of men, with spears stacked atop one another, I don't think. Okay, great, we spawned a bunch of coin carriers, that is perfect. This will help me make back what we spent on this ridiculous helmet. There we go. Okay, is that everyone here? I think so. As well, see if we can't get a few more coins. Oh no, we've been transformed into... Oh no, we just spawned more of these guys. Alright, sure. I'm totally fine with that. Usually, red spaces cause environmental effects, and black spaces transform you. Usually. Goodness gracious, you think there's enough of them? Love that I've just been totally ignoring the actual objectives in favor of messing about with roulette coins. It's not exactly like the enemies here are going to put us under a lot of pressure, though. Dre says, for as many characters that are on screen as a time, this game seems to run really well. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, that's a priority for a lot of Musou games, but it should also be noted, the game, especially for a 2015 release that is like an enhanced version of maybe a 2013 release, it looks really good for something that has so many elements active at a time. There we go. Give me all of the coins, please. Oh, sorry, we are now the pirate ship mech. Okay, I was wondering what was going on with my camera for a second there. All the surfers are absolutely screwed at this point, aren't they? Was he trying to surf down my barracks? I believe he was. Let's run, 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 run. Ooh, lots of treasure here. I approve. Did that just extend our time as the pirate ship mech? If so, I am infinitely grateful. Look at that. Just tore straight through an active human cyclone. That's what I'm talking about. Hold on a moment. Let me make sure. Okie dokie. Dre says, yeah, still looks really good, runs well, but could still be chaotic without you getting lost on screen. That's true. That's absolutely true. I think that's part of the benefit of having playable characters look really, really distinct, while still giving enemy armies lots of visual flair. Okay, now we've... this is one of the downsides, for me anyway, of, like, the roulette mechanic, is all these transformations and the like are super cool, but they can occur so frequently, so constantly, that you will spend what feels like half of a stage playing as someone other than the character you selected. But it is a fun way to experience familiar stages in a new way. Absolutely. And here we go again. This is exactly what I mean. And notice we're getting transformation spaces far more often than like environmental effect spaces. That seems to be the case most of the time in my experience. I don't know if they actually have different probabilities associated with them, but... Alright, all the elites are out of the way, so we can challenge the Dear Lord, but not yet. There's one more command post to take. Oh, so many coins. Well, we're not going to earn back every single coin I spent, but we are going to come very close. Off to the boss battle we go. Alright, we've already seen this, so we could go ahead and give it to them with our special attack, which is a self-destruct. Okay. Fair enough. Now what's his ult? Oh wait, hold on. We've got some treasure over here, definitely want to get that first. Now I ask, what's his ult? Oh, we have almost enough energy for it. There we go. Alright, just another combo. Alright, okay. Ain't got the job done, though. And did it. Well, that's a pretty good stage. Simple, but entertaining. At some point, because I did know way back, I'm going to need to research who exactly our opponent that time was. God, I hate Yukimura as a character so much. Alright, we're gonna pick up a few levels, and our AI-controlled partner's gonna pick up a lot. Okay, what do we got? What's on the board? Okay, so odds are good that our next boss battle could be invaded by him. Him again. Great. They really like giving you Shibata's mission. All the time. All the time. Okay, pirate ship, right? So we could do any of these. Huh. Tell you what, I'm going to turn off the roulette wheel. Why don't we see if we can't get into that secret compartment? I don't know that we'll be able to, but let's try. We have to move as quickly as possible, though, I think. Because I found no other way to open it. Yep, the gates haven't been closed yet. Yep, made it! Perfect. So this should give us access to the engine room. Oh! Can we maybe, like, sabotage the giant mech? Yes, we can. If we cut down 300 opponents in here, I think we'll be able to sabotage the mech. Awesome! And by cut down opponents, I mean cut down a few of them while the rest of them just run straight into saw blades. Jesus. Well, no wonder I didn't recognize or remember the giant mech fight. Because as soon as I figured out about the engine room years ago, I must have never fought it again. This is technically the map's, I guess, secret. And usually you're rewarded with additional experience or items or something like that for clearing special or secret conditions in each map. Not always, but often. Alright, so now they're sending in some bigger guys. Not really much more of a threat, though. In fact, given their size and the fact that those pistons push enemies, or us, perhaps, toward, but not directly into the saw blades, that might be worse for them. They present bigger targets. Nice. Well, there's nothing much to this at all. Still going to go through and pick up all of the command posts if I can, just because. And because I think you might also get additional rewards for conquering all the command posts in a given map, if they're available. Some maps don't have many, or I think any. Ooh, let's try another one of those charge attacks when we can. Yeah, there we go. Nice. There's actually some solid range to that, and at least in earlier games, enemies struck by his charge attack would be sent flying through the air as like flaming projectiles. I don't know if that's still the case here. It doesn't necessarily look like it, but it's also a bit easier to execute here. I think it took longer to charge in the earlier games. Alright, just 6 left. Oh, there's 4 of them. Oh, well, now they send out somebody in officer's gear. Who's left? One more officer, I guess. Well, he certainly did try. But there we go, we've just shut down the big mech. And this should give us access to some special treasure, perhaps? Yes, indeed. Oh, welcome to a jumping puzzle. In a game like this. Yay. My favorite. All that's at risk here is, a blue chest, I think, so... Nothing major if we can't do it. Oh, damn it. Yeah, tell you what, I'm just gonna leave that for now. We've got enough gold and gear to last us a lifetime. The other characters that could actually navigate double jumps and the like, so primarily the ninja, would be a much better fit for this. Or actually, can we switch control to our ninja buddy really quickly? No, I don't want to tell him to do X, Y, or Z. I want to switch control to him. There we go. Oh yeah, he can perform a double jump and he can glide. Yeah, see how much easier that is? Shoot. No, 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 did not mean to do that. Whoops. Well, now that I know I can, I kind of want to see what's at the end of this road. Maybe some kind of super special treasure. Whew. Whoa, did not mean to do that. Okay, though. Sure. Again, this character is okay, not fantastic, but okay. Alright, and this brings us down to Saikamagoichi's boss arena, where we can, just immediately open up on her with the chain gun. No, 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 don't you dare try to overheat my gun. Again, just disrespect this enemy by not even engaging with them. We've just broken this stage wide open, haven't we? Something I really like about Sengoku Basara stages, though, is depending on your engagement with optional objectives and the like, you can play through stages multiple times and have completely different experiences. Even a stage ostensibly this linear, right? There was a pretty lengthy hidden segment that first-time players, anyhow, would have no idea about. I like that a lot. There we go, we can now access the boss battle. A far more simple version of the boss battle, if we'd like. We will probably never be doing this stage the normal way ever again at this point. Since I remember the engine room trick. There we go. Let's get him. And there we go, command post number 1. Again, doing this for the experience and the sake of thoroughness more than anything else, we could have headed straight on to the boss and just taken him to school, but we do get a lot out of doing it this way. Oh, sorry, is there... Oh, yeah, the commander we left behind was going to try targeting our post. Not anymore. We are getting levels out of it, so, you know, it's worthwhile. And we have our first R2 attack. Let's see what it does. Oh! Oh, interesting. It's a stance we can perform a few different maneuvers from. Okay. Is it just those two, or... Oh, alright. Still pretty neat. Different from a lot of the other supers we've seen. Let's see what kind of damage it does against the... Yep, that's a lot of damage. Holy crap. Jesus Christ! Alright, this ultimate's amazing. Never mind. Woo, Lord. Not great against hordes of weak enemies like this, but anything with a health bar, yeah. Yeah. Just one more. Look at that damage. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we're never gonna have to worry about command posts again. Or most enemy officers, or anything like that. There's a few officers we'll leave just strewn about. Now our only goal is to make it to the boss and see... I think we may either just have to destroy the standard pirate ship mech that we've been transforming into, or once it gets down to half health or something, it'll explode. Something along those lines, I think. Or the final boss version will be much weaker. I forget what the actual benefit is for the boss fight, I just know that there should be one. Let's get this, probably just some gold, right? Yep, but we'll take it. Those help us buy weapons, decent weapons for characters who don't have them. Alright, we've seen this, we can handle it. There we go, go ahead and shut it down. And use our bullet time to make absolute mincemeat of it. Okay, here we go. And... do we still have to fight it, or...? Okay, so we do. But... oh, it looks like, yeah, it does have much less health. Okay. Sure, I'll take that. That's a worthwhile trade. Okay, so the limbs seem to have separate health bars. No, 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 no. You're not going to suck me in and then detonate. Not this time. I'm curious, does anything special happen if we destroy one of these? No, but it deals tons of damage to the big... Nope. Going to use the iframes of our ult to, yep, tank through the explosion. Hey, Schnaufy, good evening. Yes, can you read Japanese, or do you focus on gameplay? I cannot read Japanese hardly at all. This is just a Musou-style game based on a period of history I know a few things about. Like, kind of on a base pop cultural level, so I know just enough to get by. How are you doing, man? How's it going? Jessicabe is really easy to take down, even by this game's standards, when he's under AI control, which is a shame because as a player character, he's friggin' great. It's got some of my favorite specials in Sengoku Basara 3, all of which I think are retained here. Schnaufy says, I'm fine, thanks. Business as usual, work and chill. Right on. How's the speedrunning life treating you, man? Says, hope you're doing well too. Oh, thank you, Schnaufy. I appreciate it, man. My draft of the thesis is almost done. I've got like 6, maybe 7 pages left. Then it's done. It's off to my committee for suggestions for revision, meaning I'm not done writing, but I should be done creating totally original, like, new material. Dynamite! Good evening, good evening. Welcome to our stream. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. How's it going? I am like a stone's throw away from completing my graduate thesis, or a draft of it. I'll still have to tune it up, I'll have to revise, that kind of thing. But like, you know, creating original material for it, almost done. It's gonna be somewhere in the neighborhood of 120, 125 pages, which, yikes. Hence why I look so haggard right now. Until I got some sleep last night, I was up for just shy of 40 hours straight working on it, so we're almost done. I'm so glad you could join us, though. Welcome to our stream. It's a very, very chill community we usually have here, so glad to hear you. They say, I'm good, might play some Basara too. Base edition, or the Heroes version? I'm playing Sengoku Basara right now because things are so hectic, and I wanted something both simple and really visceral, like really entertaining on its own merits, that I could share with people. And I've always loved these games. I've always loved them. I do not understand why Samurai Warriors and Dynasty Warriors have consistently been able to sell enough units to justify localization in the West, and these games couldn't. They're just 1,000 times better in my mind. It says, Heroes, but the old PS2 Heroes edition. I see. I was playing some of the HD version just earlier, yesterday, I think. And it's fantastic. I wish they had that many stages, or variants of stages, in, Basara 4. As much as I love Basara 4, I do not like the fact that it has probably the lowest ratio of unique stages to characters in the entire franchise. That's kind of a shame. Schnaufy says, speedrun is an emotional roller coaster. Oh, I'm sure. Oh, Toyotomi's here. Oh no, it's just another duel we could take part in against all 3 of them. Nah. Schnaufy says, nice, then time to celebrate. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, by celebrate, I mean just sit here and stream a lot, but relax. Oh, and him, again. Oh, and Shima Sakon. Another character with a gambling motif, who we haven't seen yet. Dynamite says, I have really low specs, so it runs hella slow. Yeah, and I mainly wish Musashi was playable in 4. Oh, see, the character I wish they had kept for more modern titles, as well as given a proper expanded moveset to, is Imagawa Yoshimoto. He was great in his hero's appearance, but unfortunately, like so many of those other characters who were only made playable for the first time, or only playable, period, in Heroes, they only gave him 2 special moves, which is kind of messed up. So let's see, we could fight the 3 of them, we could go to the mines, or they really want us to fight Shibata Katsuie. He will appear usually in the mission select screen at least twice in just about every campaign, it feels. So we're gonna take him on, sure. Dynamite says he died between 2 and 3 off screen. Oh yeah, historically he died very, very early on in the Sengoku Jidai, and is always represented as a comical figure, except in Neo 2, where he's the first human boss players fight, and is absolutely horrifying. He's a great fight, though. Then, I do wish, Francis Xavier was playable in, Basara 3 and 4. Mainly because he had an incredible moveset. Dynamite says Nobunaga got a stealth kill on him mostly. That is true. Okay, so I think I got it wrong, or I told you wrong earlier on, friends. This stage is actually, like, it's not a duel. This is a proper stage where we'll have these two going at it. I think. Maybe. Oh, and really quickly, just for anybody who's new, please feel free to join our Discord if you would like to chat with us and other like-minded video game and general nerdery enthusiasts from around the globe. I am part of a trinity of streamers. Normally, you would be hearing my dear friends Comrade Potato and Seth the Overwitch on commentary with me, but neither of them are available today. Each of us tries to stream around twice a week, though, at 1 p.m. Usually, it would be 1 p.m. Central American time, 8 p.m. Central European time. And you can engage with us and our community of folks from all around the world on Discord. It's a really nice, really chill community. And there's folks to chat with you probably all hours of the day, since, again, we span about half the world's time zones. Dino says, my ears are happy Zavi's not in the series. Also, small question, who do you like to play so far? Oh, goodness gracious. It's been ages since I've played Sengoku Basara 4, so my PS4, due to a power outage, actually got formatted a few years ago. Yikes. So I lost I lost all the data I had for this game. But I did play, I think, everyone at least once, though again, we're talking like 3 years ago, maybe. I don't recall who my favorites were in this game, but I can tell you from earlier in the series, I'm particularly fond of Oda. I love playing Oichi from the third entry on. I'm a big Zavi fan. It's an obvious choice, but Honda Tarakatsu is great. Uesugi Kenshin, specifically in Basara 2. Oh, it's our first time seeing Stilt Troopers here. They're great. I loved playing Maeda Keiji. I cannot for the life of me tell you why. I just know that I did. Dynamite says, heck, I would be fine if Imagawa wasn't playable in 2 if we got Hisahide. Yeah, he's great. And I do remember from my time with this game years ago, I was a big fan of the Shogun, of Ashikaga Yoshiteru. So this stage is actually pretty simple. Your goal is to take over 2 bases associated with Shima Sakon and 2 associated with our mopey friend, Shibata Katsuye, and then take both of them on in a, like, 3-way boss battle. I say 3-way, but kind of like the battle between Sanada, Date, and Oda we trespassed in earlier as Toyotomi. They're gonna focus on you. If you're in a map where there's technically three factions, both of the others will focus on you every time. Oh, and of course they're gonna produce siege captains to make our life a little bit harder. Dynamite asks, do you like Shimatsu? I think he's got an interesting playstyle, but I'm not very fond of how inflexible he is. Generally, characters that are a bit swifter are among my favorites. Or those who have excellent crowd control. Otani Yoshitsugu is one of my favorites in Basara 3. They say, oh, the man with the Swiss Army magic satchel. Yes, yes, yes. And also, I'm still a bit mixed about the Switch OE she had in Basara 3. Really? I thought it made her way more versatile myself. I liked her presentation in 2, but her moveset was really, really, really awkward. Felt like the radius of a lot of her attacks, or the range, was either too limited, or... Sorry, the range was too limited, or the radius too narrow for how slow many of her maneuvers were. Here, she's, I think, not only faster, she has much better crowd control. And I love the shadowy hands puppeteering her around. Says, yes, she's stronger due to being a puppet character without the puppet and keeping the jank, but she had a cool Naginata. That's true. What the hell is he doing here? Okay, yeah, time to see Ishida Mitsunari a little earlier than expected. Fine. Oh, that's right, because Shima Sakon is technically representing the Toyotomi here, I think. And he's trying to take my base back. No way in hell. Dynamite says also they gave Nobunaga a stand, though I missed the cape attack. Yes! Yes, I do love the way he used his cloak in earlier installments. Of course, all the characters who most closely resemble, like, shonen anime protagonists are among the series' most popular. Of course they are. Hence why many of them have special little cutscenes that play when they square off against one another. Oh, that was just sad. Mitsunari is actually a pretty serious customer most of the time. And in Basara 3, where he debuted as a playable character, he was insanely strong for a character they gave you right out of the box, who didn't need to be unlocked. You know, one of my complaints, it's a minor complaint, with this game, and this is honestly true of a lot of games in genres that used to rely heavily upon unlockable rosters, is it did not incorporate that mechanic whatsoever. Everybody's available right out of the box. I'm not sure if that was true in baseline Basara 4, but it's kind of sad. I would have liked earning new characters, especially characters that have been built up because I'd seen them in the game and thought, oh, that one has such a cool design or moveset or what have you, before actually getting to play as them. Dynamite asks, also remember when Yukimura had dual-wield Spartas? No, I don't think I do, actually. It says Mitsunari has, like, a Phantasm 50 from Paladin. He's an Aeto user, quick draw style, yes. And I think, because, in the weird, like, kind of totally anachronistic presentation they're going with here. We will see him most often as a direct officer of the Toyotomi in this game. We won't get a chance to see Ishida's army, but maybe in one stage. He has this beautiful, like, silver and very, very light lavender color scheme going on. Dynamite says Basara 1, 2, 3, and the base version of 4 are unlocked base. Okay, so it was present in the base version of the 4th game. Gotcha, gotcha. Hold on a moment. Going to have to deal with the Oda and all of their bullshit right now. It says, Mitsunari is basically Virgil fighting style-wise, yeah, and Basara 1 and 2, his ultimate weapon was dual-wield Sparta swords from, with the Ifrit gauntlets from Devil May Cry. Really? Oh, that's cool. Wow. Good going, Capcom. Let's see. There's really not much to this stage other than keeping enemies from spawning siege captains and taking the territory back. Now all we have to do is go blow the bosses away. Shouldn't take long. Dynamite says Heroes is also, though, just a pick who looks cooler game. Yeah. It is. You have a massive roster unlocked straight from the start. That's also because Heroes had far fewer campaigns. Only 8 for this huge roster, I think. Said, Noime had, Ianai and Masamune Date had sextuple Alistair swords. Oh, that was a perfect fit for him, actually. Speaking of Date Masamune, he's here for some reason. Sure. It's time for the most anime of all the possible duels in this series. Minus the tension, of course. Well, there you go. Greatest rivalry in Sengoku Basara. That's a bit anticlimactic, but I'll take it. Let's just let them finish their pre-fight banter so I can get on with my post-fight exploration. There we go. That's a damn shame because Date Masamune, in my opinion anyway, Date Masamune is a far better and more powerful playable character than this guy. Then again, as I've stated, my biases come into account here. I really, really hate the design they went with for Sanada Yukimura and his character. Okay, these two. Let's go ahead and use bullet time, and they're already rinsed. If you're wondering, will Shibata ever win, even in his own campaign? The answer is no. No, he will not. I don't know, in fact, that I ever played as Shima Sakon. I'm sure I had to, but I don't recall. Dynamite says the greatest are Tadakatsu and Shimazu. Oh, the big, powerful characters, huh? It says, I'm honestly surprised Saika doesn't have Nero's, Oh, Nero's revolver. Yeah. And said Masamune is great just because he has the War Dance ability. Yes, we will be showing off War Dance probably in the next campaign. It's a really, really strong ability that is one of a handful of maneuvers we can unlock for characters in this game that is not directly tied to any kind of attack. It says Tenkai's cool. Oh, yeah, both versions of him are. I believe, is it this game, or was it Sengoku Basara 3, where both versions of Tenkai were playable? As, like, different characters, quote-unquote. Wasn't there one where they had different movesets, I think? Like, slightly different movesets? Basara 3, that's it, yeah. In the enhanced version, that, for some reason, everybody seems to create for these types of Musou games. Okay, so Sanada Yukimura is one of a handful of characters with 2 story-specific diverging paths. As per usual, our first time around, we are going to advance down neither, and we'll instead be fighting, Should we show off this stage, or Mori's? Mori's has appeared in the menu, and I've passed it up a couple times before. We'll show this one off. Dynamite says, no, they just have different ending screens? Oh, that's all. Okay. Strange, then, that they would render them as 2 separate playable characters, then. Instead of just as, like, costumes. Right, so, Lord Mori, he's a genius, but deeply amoral strategist who is motivated largely by his own lust for power. And as mentioned during our raid on the Basara amusement park, his theme is the sun. And there's also something about beauty in there as well, I believe. Most of his stages, dating back to Sengoku Basara 2, he had a stage in the first game, but it was not themed thusly, involves some type of solar-powered super weapon. And this stage is no different. He's going to be using the power of the sun here in his waterbound shrine lair to try and burn us down. Hence why all of his soldiers have fairly thick mirrors as shields. Oh no, Dynamite says, by that I mean for levels. No, it's just costumes. Okay. Okay. Yep, so here's how this works. The massive solar cannon is going to fire, I believe, every time that gauge in the upper right-hand corner fills. And what we want to do, of course, is shut down all of the command bases, or command posts, powering the super weapon. This will allow us access to the boss, and give us a much, much easier time dealing with the rest of the enemies here, as well, that's just going to be a thing now. No, let's get through it. Let's get through it. If we can. Jesus Christ. There we go. We just have to be terribly cautious of any enemies or enemy formations that are bearing mirrors that they can use to redirect lasers towards us. Dynamite says, no, Basara 2 has a non-sun-based Motonari stage? Really? It's a stupid rescue 100 men and don't let men touch them as they spawn literally on top of them. Really? Oh, I thought that was his Basara 1 stage. My bad. This is an absolutely beautiful stage, by the way. I love the color palette in effect here. The shrine itself is reasonably attractive, looking a lot like the sea shrines from games like Nioh or Ghost of Tsushima. But then you've got this gorgeous vista, dominated by beautiful, cool colors, set during a sunrise. It's really something special. Dynamite says Basara 1 was fun. It was just run his gates, blow up, kill 6 guys, then him. Okay, okay. I remembered he had some kind of gimmick stage, but not exactly what it was. Oh yes, and the Shrine Maiden's here for some reason, whose stage we also haven't visited yet in this playthrough. Oh good, as per usual, in stages like this, where stage mechanics are closely tied to progress, the second we take an enemy base, the others are going to start spawning siege captains. Dynamite says, I hate Suime, I want Ranmaru back. I don't mind her. She's got a really cool looking army. So that's a special treasure. But as you can see, the map is now going to be crawling with siege captains, and we've got to contend with them too. Good God, he spawned like 3 of them at once. That's from 2 command posts. That's a bit much, guys. Oh, and she's here, too. Great. Alright, well, we can handle this. I may not be the biggest fan of Sanada Yukimura, but damn if he don't have a special, something special as one of his ults. Dynamite says, yeah, but thunder arrows, though. Fair enough, fair enough. I actually like most of the ranged characters in this game. Okay, so I guess she's staged a strategic retreat in a very unorthodox style. Sure, okay, fine. Let's just clear out the officers here and we might be able to bring this to a decent end. Lord almighty, you think there's enough of them? Okay. Ah, there we go. That's bound to put a damper on the old solar cannon. For a limited time, no doubt, but it's helpful all the same. Now let's see if we can't shut this sucker down in the meantime. No, there we go. There we go. Nice. God, he just shreds through command posts. Gotta give this character that much. There we go. Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, so this sucker's going to be charging up very slowly, if at all, now. We have done good work. Oh, and I've not mentioned it before, but of course if you slam into a shield wall from behind, I believe all of its constituent soldiers will immediately fall. Pretty cool. So he's going to be able to get off probably one more round of his solar cannon. Maybe. Just barely, though. Or no? No, yeah, he just barely got it. Or not. Ha! Made it just in time. Well, now we've cast this beautiful shrine into darkness, it's time to mosey on along and bring down both enemy commanders. So I think it's safe to assume Suhime is trying to, like, conjure the sun again, and somehow or another our control of the area is preventing that from happening. Clear out all the officers, then it'll be boss battle time. You could tell from some of the positions or formations that these shield bearers were in, that if we were to allow the solar cannon to still fire on us, we'd be in for a very, very bad time in some of these sections. It would have excellent coverage across the map. And there we are. It is time. I'm not entirely sure what they're repeating time and again, but... Hold on, Suime's been taking damage somehow? I'm not entirely sure how, but there we go, she's down. And apparently defeating her counts as a special condition for this map. Meaning we'll get some kind of special reward for it. Alright, sure. Happy to do it then. And it looks like there's some special treasure over there, so give me 1 second to go see what we've got. You always want to get the special treasure. I mean, why wouldn't you, right? Right this way. Also home to another solar mirror that could have caused us some serious problems if we didn't take those command posts early on. Well, I think we've secured the map. Time for our final boss, or of the stage, anyhow. And fortunately for us, Mori is well. You saw if you caught our first stream, you saw him in the theme park. He's pretty weak. Also, Dynamite says also Hideyoshi is the most fun slow character. Oh yeah, he's great, very powerful, excellent crowd control, and renders most bosses totally harmless by nature of being able to just pluck them off the ground. He was actually the last character I completed a campaign as, like early on in the stream. Come on. There we go. Yeah, without the solar cannon, these guys, like the towers with the mirrors, are not harmless, as you saw, but damn near. Looks he's a cool grappler? Yeah, he is. Alright, let's do this thing. Mori's an interesting character. He's not exactly geared towards direct combat. He uses a lot of ranged, or I guess indirect attacks, like that ring you just saw him summon a second ago. And down he goes. Dynamite says, so is Hanbei to an extent, though Hanbei is nowhere near slow. He was the first character we completed a playthrough for, in this stream series. And yeah, he's great. Yeah, Motonari's a trap-based character. He is. Which probably isn't the best fit for a game like this, like a Musou-style game that's meant to be played pretty aggressively, no matter what your moveset's looking like. But he's interesting, to say the least. Okay, we should be nearing the last stage of this campaign, I think. We'll know once we're issued an invitation to the Shoguns. Dynamite says he has great crowd control, but you need to think 100 steps ahead. Yeah. Which, again, for a game like this is just odd. Yep, there we go. We've been issued our invitation to the old capital. Or to fight those two, if we wish. Ah, Honoji! The site of Akachi Mitsuhide's betrayal of Oda Nobunaga. It's very rare to have him appear in the game. So, tell you what, since we're not gonna get many opportunities to do this, probably, let's go fight the two of them. Dynamite says you need to manifest the epitaph stand, and yeah, Hisahide does enough talking for like 15 characters. He does. He's great. So, time for the incident at Honoji, even though this character has no business whatsoever being there. So, this is the only historical, or historically funded, interpretation of Akachi Mitsuhide, whose forces will be fighting through most of this stage, as, like, villainous. Most of the time he's portrayed more or less sympathetically or neutrally, which makes this take very, very interesting. Well, then again, the take, or the presentation of Oda Nobunaga as a literal demon is also more than a little unusual. But it's still not totally unheard of to have more generally negative portrayals of him in media. These are Akachi's men. They have this beautiful purple color scheme, which just made me stop and consider how many armies we fight in this game that do have some kind of violet incorporated into their color palette. It's pretty nice. Dynamite says Hisahide is really fun. He is. And he might have been pretty good in Basara Run. Too bad he's not playable in the Western version of that game. Oh, Akachi. Yes. Devil Kings is a weird localization. Again, I've never seen anything like that happen for a historically, no matter how loose it is, but a historically based game where they just do away with the historical context altogether and say it's a fantasy world. That is so strange. So, most of the regular troops in this stage are going to be set dressing even more than what we're used to in a Musou game, because, really it all just boils down to this fight between the series' probably two greatest villains that we're going to be butting into later on. Ooh, I see some treasure up there. Okay, so who or what is guarding the door? Just a regular captain, okay. Oh! Bomb wheel, that's new. I don't think we've seen any other armies use those before. Dynamite says, well, the two most known villains. And Yukimura sort of was stronger because you could slip his primer string with his square string. Really? I did not know that. I'll have to try it out at some point. These armies are going to be focusing on each other far, far more than they'll be focusing on us, which is a nice change of pace for a stage with two opposing forces. This is, you guys, for those of you who aren't familiar with the game, this is actually kind of unexpected, because the incident at Honnoji is not a stage that appears all that often, like, at all. So for it to appear for Yukimura, that's very strange. Not like I'm complaining, though. I love this stage. So, can you guess the theme of Akachi's army yet? It's a little subtle, but he's kind of got a thing for explosives. Not rifles, not cannons, nothing like that, just bombs. Good God. There's just so many bomb throwers here. So many more than we're used to. Ooh. This is quite the treasury. We will, of course, be clearing out the other wing as well, as we can. Dynamite says bombs, green smoke, and spike wheelers. The others were way more prevalent in the first two games, I think. And as far as I'm aware, unfortunately, poor guy didn't get a stage of his own in the third game, did he? He just appeared in Kobayakawa's stage, which is a really good one. Dynamite says, the Katsuye and Sako and Shima stage had the bomb wheel. Did it? I must have missed it entirely, or blown it up before it was able to do anything. And Masamune could also mix two combos, but he lost the normal War Dance skill, and his Basara is just straight to the War Dance form. Okay, I gotcha. It says no, Kobayakawa's stage has a whole other path for Mitsuhide. Oh, I know that. But, I mean, he was not given, like, a stage where his own personal forces would appear or anything like that. Including in the expanded version, right? I don't know, because I never played the expanded version of, Sengoku Basara 3. So I don't know how many new stages or anything like that there was. No point going all the way back through the stage just to get the other wing, so we will just remember next time we come here to take Oda's path instead. Oh, he and Hisahide share a stage, okay. Well, let's go into bullet time and clean house. Well, there goes the more dangerous one of the two. Now it's just down to us and Oda. Well, that's just sad. But we won! There you go. Oh, Dynamite says if you play as Mitsuhide, you fight Hisahide in it. Or at least you do in his campaign. Okie dokie then. Did the expanded version of Sengoku 3 offer a lot of new stages? I know you were able to play as a lot of new characters, or at least characters that weren't available in the base version, but were there a ton of new stages added? Okay, so we win, and now it's on to the Shogun, I presume. Or not? No! This is going to end with a battle against Oda in his standard stage, which we've not seen so far. It's got a unique mechanic. Pointed out. Dynamite says, Tenkai doesn't have a story, because the story forces you to play as Mitsuhide, right? And I think in Kojuro's story you play a stage that has either Mitsuhide's or just Tenkai's army, but on the same stage for Mitsuhide's story, Hisahide takes it. Okay, I gotcha. So, instead of fighting the Shogun, this time we're going to fight the Demon King. Again. I don't believe he's any tougher here, although we will be focusing just on his forces here. And what we have to do is, first of all, just admire this incredibly grim atmosphere. But what we have to do is claim every command post, and I believe that'll open the way to his throne. Dynamite says the enemy is at Honoji. Yep. This is actually the aftermath of what historically was like the last great battle of the Sengoku Jidai. So we're fighting him at this old battleground, and here's his command posts. Risen out of the ground. I love that. They look no different at all. But just give him that little bit of ominous flavor. I love it. And just like in earlier entries, well no, like in Sengoku Basara 3, which was translated into English, so I was able to actually appreciate the writing for, Oda's army is absolutely terrified of him, and aren't exactly fighting out of loyalty or anything like that. They're just trying to survive. Alright, now that we've brought down the officers, out comes the command post. For a time. Oh, that's right. They're constantly emerging and retreating. That's it. Well, come on then. There we go. His command posts are also a bit more resilient than normal, I believe. Like, to make better use of that gimmick. Dynamite says either that or wait for him to eat them. Yeah, absolutely no way are we doing that. Just run. Just run. There we go. Got that one in one. And since command posts are a huge part of this stage's, I guess, strategy, or gimmick at the very least, Oda is going to spawn more siege captains on this map than any enemy commander will anywhere else in the entire game. It's obscene, frankly. Our goal is just going to be playing keep away with him and his siege captains to hopefully conquer all of the territory, or the vast majority of it before time's up, anyhow. We want to keep these, I guess I'll call them soul wells, powered down for the duration of the match. Hence why we're going to be avoiding quite a lot of enemies. Oh, wait. Got a target. If I see an enemy pyramid, I can't avoid knocking it down. I just can't. Okay, we'll use bullet time to get this one. Perfect, perfect. And of course, as soon as we do, out come like 6 siege captains. Or did we miss one? Yep. Oh god, it's amazing they haven't brought this one down. How many siege captains are here? 3! 3 of them! Let's grab the northeast as quick as we can, because we can swing back around and grab the center again if need be afterwards. Just in time, too. Whew. This stage is about as intense as management of one's time and the battlefield will ever get in Sengoku Basara 4. Which is to say, it's the only time it ever really feels all that tense at all. Oh, well, damn, our command post is holding together pretty well, actually. And our officers are locking theirs up really nicely. Well done, guys. Once he has fewer command posts to spawn siege captains from, you actually can relax just a little bit. But we're still on the clock. Oh no, you don't. Come on, come on, come on. There we go! The entire map is ours. Dynamite says, goddamn, how much footsies you have to play on this damn stage, right? Yeah, it's a lot. A lot of back and forth. He also says this stage, or they also say, sorry, this stage looks more BS than Hisahide's Border Patrol in Basara 2. I vaguely remember the stage you're talking about, I think. Very vaguely. He had a few stages, between the regular version and Heroes, he had, what, like 3 stages in Basara 2? Oh, Lord. Back, 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 back. Back, back, back. Dynamite says, I don't care about what you call me, don't worry. It's alright, I appreciate that, but I try to use gender-neutral pronouns for all my viewers unless they specify otherwise. Or I know them, like, personally, of course. There we go. I appreciate that, though. Thank you. Okay, so I think Oda should be ready for us. After we fight, who's his right hand here? Oh, of course. They were really pushing Shibata in this game. He features really heavily in a lot of new stages. He appears in a ton of popular character stories, and I don't know what it is. he's a great playable character, but as a character in the narrative, in the world, I don't like him. And I get it, you're probably not supposed to, but I feel like there was at least somebody on the writers' team trying to make him come across as really sympathetic, which he isn't. Okay. Dynamite says the theme is cool, though. It is! Yeah, most characters in this series have great themes. And Oda's ritual has been prevented. Meeting this stage's special condition, earning us an additional reward, and giving us the ability to just run roughshod right over him. Dynamite says his change mechanic is cool as well, regarding Shibata. That is true. Like I said, as a playable character, he's fantastic. Oh, charge mechanic, sorry. Now, this feels really climactic, guys, but as we saw in other campaigns, this is a stage we can play that can just appear on the roulette, so to speak, in the menu, at any point during a campaign. We could have this as our first stage in certain campaigns. Though tackling it with a level 1 character is honestly probably a little inadvisable. Dynamite says, I think there's a bigger reward for letting him eat all of the command posts. Really? I like that they give you a reward for actually, like, managing to clear the entire board, though. An award beyond simply an easier time of the boss fight, of course. I do wish they would announce, you know, a proper 5th entry in the series sometime soon. It's about time. A 5th entry with, you know, like, actual proper, really, really solid stage variety. Because this game is great. A lot of its stage design is really solid. But again, I feel like it has a very, very small number of stages, unique stages, that is, compared to Basara 3 and certainly to Basara 2, which had like a whopping 64 stages. Jesus Christ. Dynamite says, if you're playing Tadakatsu, it's fine though. Tadakatsu, Ashikage, hell, even Nobunaga himself. That's true. That's true. Any of them would have absolutely no problem with this. And honestly, I think Toyotomi would have a hell of an easy time with it as well. A super powerful opponent couldn't do anything if he, you know, couldn't touch the floor. They say they're all broken. Well, that's one of the things I really love about Sengoku Basara as a Musou game, but also a very roster-focused game. A bit like the niche strategy game Dominions, which couldn't be more different from this if it tried. Balance is not a virtue, necessarily, in the actual, like, development of playable characters or factions. Instead, it's focused on making all of them feel good, like, you know, subjectively good in a player's hands by different means. It doesn't matter if this character isn't necessarily as strong as that character, which I really appreciate. Dynamite says, and I mean just you can't win against me, broken. Yeah, Mitsunari's also pretty alright in that circumstance. Really? I could see that. Kenshin as well, then, I would imagine. And there we go. We have beaten the game with one of my least favorite characters. Right on. So, I'm going to have to cut the stream in just a minute because I do have that last little bit of thesis writing to do, unfortunately. But I do want to start a campaign very briefly just to see, like, what stages we'll have with one of my favorite, more, I guess, mainstream Sengoku Basara characters, as in, like, the anime protagonist types that seem very, very popular all over the place. Date Masamune, whose playstyle is great, very aggressive, very, very fast. Also very stylish. Dynamite says, because if you can't even breathe for 0 or 1 frames out of hit stun, right. So his partner is his real-life retainer, Karakura Kojiro, who looks very boring, and as a character is very boring, but has a rock-solid playstyle. He's as close to a plain, oh, good, Zombieland's opened again. He's as close to, like, just a standard swordsman character as you'll get in the entire series. Again, that is based on an actual historical character, and it should be a perfectly solid indicator to you of how thoroughly despised that character is in Japanese history. Oh, I think I know this stage. It's not Kyoketsu Maria's standard stage, which she does have, but it's a secondary stage where she's the enemy commander. And we'll probably do that with Date. Dynamite says, Motonari, no, don't go to Zavism. Get right. Zavism. Totally. Yes. Please don't sue. What special costumes does he have? Oh. Well, those are both awful. Ooh. I like the color scheme here, though. Okay. Dynamite says he gets 1 hit in the best you got is Sengoku mode. Right. It says he did become a Zavis to Basara 2 as well, and regretted it in Basara 3. But he was converted again, right, into, oh, I forget the English translation of his name, but in the nighttime Osaka stage, I think, or the Osaka Festival, something like that. Okay. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have to cut it here as I have one last writing session to take care of. Don't you worry, though. We will be back on the weekend with probably some more Sengoku Basara. Even though I'll be done writing my thesis by then, I'm enjoying these kind of relaxed, chill streams with a game that entertains perfectly well on its own. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Dynamite. Appreciate you. And appreciate all of your insight. You know a lot about this series. That's very, very impressive, and I hope you've enjoyed. Please feel free to join us then. Otherwise, join our Discord, where you can keep up to date with the streaming schedules of myself, as well as my good friends and partners, Seth the Overwitch and Comrade Potato, who are, I believe, either finishing up a Celeste run, or Seth may be getting ready to play a Symphony of the Night, and finishing, over on Potato's channel, we are finishing his first run of Dark Souls 3, and getting ready for Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. So, exciting stuff all around. Hope you can join us. Hope to see you around, and until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time, and your presence here this evening. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.